Hey everyone, this is Casually Toxic, episode 11. It is February 18th, 2018, and we took a little break there, didn't we, guys?
A couple weeks.
Yeah, I've been super busy.
It's been a
That's
hectic
true.
time, yeah.
Yeah, we finished season 1 and now we're on season 2.
This is,
You know.
yeah, I guess, so 10 episode seasons.
No,
Yeah.
it's just totally arbitrary.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just on their feet.
This is actually
You
its
know.
own season, and then episode 12 is season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should say, like, the Game of the Year one was the end of season 1, so it's, like, ends on a bang. It's like the last one, I don't
Have a
really
little
feel-
bit of continuity.
Yeah, the last one I don't
We're
really feel
doing
like
the
was
Game
a
of Thrones
banger.
style of thing where episode 9 is what's really fucking crazy, and episode 10 just kind of wraps some shit.
Yeah,
A
it's
little epilogue,
it's the
yeah.
penultimate episode is the episode before,
Second last,
like the
yeah.
epilogue, essentially. So episode 10 was our epilogue, and episode 14 will be season 3,
There you go.
and then eventually every new episode will be
So-
a new season.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 is Casually Toxic Revengeance.
Yes.
Revengeance.
Yeah, we're on the revenge tour. We're coming for all of our
Is that a play,
enemies. Yeah.
is that a play on like Metal Gear
Vendettas,
Rising?
Revengeance, dude, the classic. I didn't even
It's
fucking
just
play
an
that
edgy
game.
term.
It was actually a really good
I
action
heard it's
game.
awesome, and it's made by Platinum, so
Yeah.
I probably love it. So
It's,
I don't know if
it's
it's made by Platinum, but the combat's done by Platinum. So
But I've had a lot of stuff going on between school. I'm doing my capstone for my senior year.
what you doing? It's your capstone.
It's
Explain it to a person who knows nothing
my
about
God.
CS.
so. Have you ever heard of Verifone?
No.
They do like like when you
That's a
swipe
brand
your
of
credit
phone,
card
right?
at like terminals. Like Verifone makes all those like credit card terminals.
Oh, okay.
So they have a new product. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about this. Anyway,
Did you sign like an NDA or anything?
no.
Then you're fine. Don't worry about it.
They have a new product coming out called the Carbon, which is kind of like this tablet that faces the merchant. On the other side, you have the customer-facing side where they can, see their total, stuff like that. Anyway, they have a marketplace on it, so we're designing an application for that marketplace, which is basically just a kind of boring-ass customer loyalty application. Where the customer or the merchant
Yeah.
can spy on you and keep information about what you purchased and blah blah blah.
Nice. Good app.
Yeah, great app.
Hell yeah.
But that's our capstone. We're trying to make it kind of easy. So I'm dumping a bunch of time into that, and then I'm coding a bunch of artificial intelligence nonsense.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
You're
Forget
gonna
about the robot uprising.
Yeah,
over
you're
here.
gonna be the Terminator.
Yeah, let me tell you how my vacuum cleaner that goes back and forth and collects pixelated dirt is going to take over the world. It's going to be great.
You better not have dirt on you in the future apocalypse. 'cause they're
Yeah,
coming
no.
for your
If
ass.
there is digital dirt to be collected, my AI will collect that dirt.
Hell yeah, dude.
So how close are you to shooting a car into space? Like
Um,
old Muskie over there.
I would say give me about 2 more months. Right
Okay.
now, I need to work on just like digital pathfinding.
Right.
Then I'll move up to real world pathfinding, and then I'll make a Zumba,
Yeah.
and then it'll just be like upwards from there.
I just want to
Next
go on
step,
the record and
Mars.
say fuck Elon Musk.
Okay.
And that's all.
Okay.
He didn't shoot that rocket into space. He paid other people to shoot that rocket into space.
All right. Well,
I mean, obviously he wasn't the one going like, okay.
Yeah,
part
but
A
then
goes to
everyone's
part
still
B.
sucking his dick. He didn't
Because he
do
put the
shit.
money into it.
That's all he did, though.
Yeah, but that nobody else is doing that.
Yeah, because they don't have the money.
That's what I'm saying. At least he's doing that.
Yeah, but he shouldn't get the credit that he's getting.
Okay.
That's all.
Right
This
here
has
on
been-
the Casually Toxic podcast, shout out to all the people other than Elon Musk that worked on that rocket.
Yeah.
You guys
That's
are the true
exactly
heroes.
it. Yeah.
this
Because
is
your
no,
car
that's
should have been in
fucking-
orbit.
Yeah.
this has been the ranty minute with Cirrus
Fuck
and
Elon
Ian.
Musk.
We're gonna have
Fuck
we're gonna have
Elon
a little
Musk.
tune
Yeah.
that plays before that little minute.
Stay tuned for season 3 when I bare knuckle box Elon Musk.
Quality.
That bitch is going down, dude. He's a soft boy.
I turned 27.
Holy shit!
Congratulations. What's
Yeah.
it like to be old as fuck?
Well, as the elder on this podcast and in general, because I go to a college where I'm 27 and I'm surrounded by people 5 years younger than me.
That's not that bad.
It's
Do you notice it
Relate
still?
to the kids.
yeah, no, I notice it. Like it's definitely it's hard to like pinpoint. Like it's not a very
You
like
don't look
tangible
27
thing.
if that makes you feel better.
No,
Yeah, you
it
could pass
doesn't.
for like 22.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
could
I feel like that's true for everyone that's 27.
fit in with the cool
Like,
kids.
do you ever walk up to anyone like, you're 27, aren't you?
I look at some people and I'm like, that dude is 40. He's like, yeah, I'm 19. I'm just like,
Well, that's fair, but like, you never pinpoint. Like, it's no one ever. Whenever I tell people my age at school, they're just like, whatever. And then I joke about the fact that I've been in college for almost a decade, and I took 10 years to get a bachelor's. And then I'm like, well, maybe my university should write like a little article on me about pure perseverance in college, and like, so I kind of go that route with it. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
27 birthdays get less exciting.
Kids are really into fidget spinners, I heard. If you want to try to relate to the young bucks in your class, I got a couple I can lend you.
I'm aware.
Hey kids,
Yeah.
I got some fidget
Check
spinners.
this out.
Well, I'm in computer science, so everyone's antisocial and weird to begin with.
Yeah,
so
no,
like,
cons anyway.
like everyone kind of suffering from some social disorder
Nice.
because that's the type of
Yeah.
people see us.
I was an English major, which is full of totally normal people.
Yeah, I
who are
bet,
like-
yeah.
yeah, definitely not like the kind of people who are like, yeah, I just want to be like a Sylvia Plath and write like just legendary poetry and kill myself when I'm 27, and everyone will remember me forever because I wrote things about how sad I was when I was 15.
Damn.
That's a lot of people. in the
Honestly,
English
Lord of
major.
the Rings is a fantasy isn't that great. I could probably do a better job.
No, they all think it's awesome, but then they also think they're like, well, I read it 7 times, so I'm as good of a writer as Tolkien.
Jesus.
And it's like, it's not really how that works.
I wonder
but,
if
you
any
know,
major has like normal people. I'm putting normal in air.
I
quotes.
mean,
most normal major.
I was
business maybe.
business.
Depends on your definition. Of
Yeah,
normal, but
if
that's-
psychopathic is normal.
Yeah,
for
if you want to
sure.
talk about like just like shit tons of frat bros who are like, what are you studying?
Yeah,
Oh,
if that's
business.
normal.
What are you gonna do with that? He's like, I'm gonna do business.
I'm a businessman.
I was a senior in history, and I guess I found the general history audience to be like somewhat normal. If anything, they were just
Yeah.
kind of like stoners and like or people that were lazy and wanted to get like an easy degree, and then it backfired on them terribly.
Mm-hmm.
But the history majors were pretty normal.
History's cool. I would have been a history major if I wasn't afraid of being poor forever.
Yeah, I was doing it I did it for an easy degree, and
Yeah.
it's not.
It's a good fear.
That's
to
why I
have.
decided to get an English degree because now I'm gonna be just rolling.
You're
in it.
rolling.
Beyond that, beyond turning 27, built a desktop for my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, what you put in it?
Hey, God, it was like some unknown process. It's like a G4560. It's like a dual core, but it pairs
What?
very well with the GTX 1050 Ti. So
Wait, it was a G45. What now?
it was a G4560. It's just like a $70 budget Intel processor. They put out for kind of low mid range machines. Like you could never upgrade your GPU without upgrading that as well. It just happens to pair really well with a 1050 Ti.
Yeah, but like if you're just trying to get her into it, I feel like that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and it's actually so she, in terms of PC gaming before, played kind of like The Sims,
Yep.
which I want to talk about the Sim Trap. Also want to talk a little bit about the Sims in general, like the kind of overall perception of it, because like it's a game that's hated.
A lot of people have played it though, like a surprising.
It's
a lot of people played it.
insane. Like it is.
A lot of people have stories about like what they did to their Sims, you know, like people who don't play games at all.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the Sims, I used to play that, and I used to do all this fucking fucked up shit, really.
But
Like,
yeah,
Psychopathic shit.
but like it extends beyond even like nostalgia. Like everyone has played The Sims at some point, but even now, like it's kind of like has this mobile like kind of phone game kind of following where it's just like
yeah.
so many people play it. Even like so many people today that don't play games play The Sims.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing because then like the general gaming community hates on it. Like you guys heard of people just being like,
I don't know.
Sims isn't a fucking game.
I remember
I've
when
never
it
heard
came
of it.
out. There was a lot of uproar, and then what was it that came out? Oh, maybe it was a different Sim type
Yeah, it
game.
was
but then
SimCity or
Cities, yeah, it was Sim City came out, and everyone hated on it, and then City Skylines came out, and everyone's like, "This is what it should have been all the time."
Yeah, that was
But that's like
SimCity.
city
Yeah,
building.
that was SimCity, but just like the
regular
mainline
Sims,
Sims, I
yeah.
guess you don't even hear about it. Like
Yeah, I don't you really hear about it at
Yeah,
all.
but
But I guess
yeah.
it's super popular.
it's
still.
one of the biggest games like out there, just because of how like I think
It
it's
has like mass casual appeal,
Yeah, it's
doesn't
just
it?
too
Yeah.
casual for me, really. It's just,
that's
there's no
like
difficulty in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with it.
No,
I
it's
don't-
totally fine.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know people hated on it because it was like casual.
yeah.
Do people hate on it for that? I don't think anyone hates on it.
I
Just, like,
think
it's not
people.
for me.
I think people hate on it because it's like the go-to. Like that is what a casual gamer plays on their PC. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
is
fair.
the game that they play, and it's also like a primarily like female audience, which brings in other
Oh,
issues
yeah, lots
as
of people
well.
fucking
Yeah, but I
hate
mean,
on
if you
that shit.
enjoy it, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it. But there were still just kind of like
There's still those problems. Like I don't know. Have you recently seen like e-girl become an insult? Like, have you seen
No,
that?
is
People
that an insult?
People start saying that shit. They're like, oh, you're probably just like a fucking e-girl. Like in League, when you're doing shitty, people are like, oh, you're probably just e-girl. Just play Janna and do this shit. It's like, that's some really awful shit to say.
No, I
to
just suck
somebody. Like,
regardless.
yeah, it's just
I'm
like
I'm just bad.
everyone's bad. Like, come on, dude. Like,
Seriously, everyone has a shitty game
awful.
once in a while.
that shit really bothers
Just
me.
because you're playing
That's-
Janna doesn't
yeah.
mean shit.
Sure.
But e-girls do play Janna. That's a
Yeah, obviously that's a given. But so we built her a PC, and she's been playing like Doom. She's getting really into Rocket League,
nice.
and it's just like some of this stuff that I kind of forgot. I guess when I see someone start getting PC gaming, like your natural instinct is to like want to play everything with a gamepad.
Yeah.
Like mouse and
Well,
keyboard is like inherently
strange and confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this intimidating thing, and I'm like, she started playing Doom and was like, had the gamepad already, and I was like, you should play as a mouse and keyboard. Like, this is a better experience, and she doesn't struggle with it at all.
Yeah.
But it was still just like,
It's intimidating.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just like navigating video options.
Yeah, when
and
I
being like-
switched from like console to PC gaming, I still played a lot of single player games with a pad. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think it's more comfortable.
yeah,
Like-
I'll play certain games with a pad just because I want to like lay
Yeah.
down in my bed or like sit far away from
Yeah.
the TV. But
It's definitely more comfortable, and like with games like Nier Automata and Rocket
Yeah.
League, like it's a given. But then like Doom, like
yeah, when it comes to like shooters, I generally always want to play with mouse and keyboard and any kind of competitive game. I
yeah,
play mouse
well,
and
unless
keyboard.
it's
well,
like
unless it's made for pad.
Yeah.
Like Rocket League is made
or
for pad.
fighting games
Yeah.
or etc.
Yeah,
I don't know. With FPS, I've been using the Steam controller, which I
Weird.
find like it's really hard to use, but I'm not going to be as good as like using a mouse and keyboard, but I'm not going to be as bad as using a
Are
controller.
you playing like what are you playing with it?
Like I played Doom with it. I've played Hitman with it. I've
Okay, so
played-
like single
Single
player.
player.
yeah,
yeah.
not like Call of Duty.
Okay, I didn't know if you were like playing Siege with
Yeah.
God no. Yeah, no. If it was like if seriously saying like if it's a competitive game, then definitely use a fucking mouse and keyboard because you're gonna get fucking annihilated.
Yeah. In building this PC, I realized how like ridiculous the whole cryptocurrency
Yes.
thing has
Yeah.
had like an impact on GPUs.
Yeah.
Like 1080s were originally like the MSRP was like 600 to 700. Right now they're selling for like 13 to 1400.
so fucked up.
And I just kind of like got this get rich quick scheme in my mind, which I'm not going to do because I don't have the investment for it. But I was like, what if you just like go to brick and mortar shops, try to like collect all the 1080s, 1070s, even 970s are going for like $700 right now. Which the rational thought from that would be
Is
like
sell your 970.
sell your 970, but then you're stuck. Because
Yeah.
like any other, if you want to upgrade, like you're gonna end up paying like so much more.
I mean, you could sell a 970, buy an Xbox One X. And then
Yeah, you
fucking
could do that. Which
collect the profit.
I forgot who did.
How much
our-
is an Xbox One X?
I think it's 500.
Oh yeah, you get like a
500?
Yeah.
Damn.
you get like a 400% fucking.
Oh
or
no,
not percent.
The One X
dollar.
is not the same as Scorpio.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
No, it
Xbox
is.
One X
Is
is the
Scorpio?
Scorpio,
Okay,
and,
yeah,
it,
okay.
and it's retailing for 500.
Damn, dude.
And someone did an article. It might have been like just MMORPG.com or some other bullshit I read.
Uh-huh.
But they're like, no, it makes sense to buy an Xbox One X right now if you want to get a PC like experience for cheap because it's not. The only card I could find that was reasonably priced, which is the one we bought, was a 1050 Ti for 180, which the MSRP for that one specifically was 140.
Huh.
So we spent $40 more on a card that does 1080p 60 FPS on high settings, sometimes ultra.
Okay,
on
that's pretty
modern
good.
games. Yeah.
So, here's something that I may be ridiculed for. I know about PC gaming, but do consoles use a GPU?
yeah, it's
It's not an Nvidia or
Oh, okay.
AMD
So
one,
so
but,
that's how they
yeah.
avoid like the fucking.
yeah. I think it's might just be like onboard GPU and not like an external GPU. Like I don't think they have a PCI Express
Yeah, for
slot
sure.
that just like plugged into. But I actually do think it is NVIDIA or AMD.
I think
It's just like
AMD is the
especially
one who
it
makes-
might be AMD.
Well, at least for the Nintendo ones, which is obviously less powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they use I think it's like Tiger or Tiger.
It might be.
something with a T. That's like some Chinese company.
yeah.
That's something like that. But yeah, and it's like I don't remember what people said the equivalent of it was, but they have a GPU in there. It's just like the big bottleneck on consoles is the CPU though, because like I was looking at a PS4 Pro, because I was looking at like buying a PS4, and like a PS4 Pro, like gets like 1.6 gigahertz.
Jeez.
You know, and it's like, dang, you don't even get 2 on a Pro, and that's like,
You don't even get 2.
but like the Pro is like $400, I think.
Yeah.
And so I want to know. I'm trying to look it up.
I
how
mean,
much,
that's why,
Xbox
like,
One X gets for $100 more. How much more?
Even though porting games to
CPU,
PC
yeah.
has gotten easier over the years, why it's still like kind of problematic, and why it was definitely problematic back then, is that these games are optimized specifically for this basically very different hardware than PC.
Okay, so
Like that 1.6 gigahertz you're talking about will
Xbox
actually
One
go
X gets
further
1.75.
that's an Xbox One S. Xbox One X gets 2.3.
Oh yeah, 2.3 is good. But you know the other thing about all these Pro consoles, they're really pushing the fucking 4K thing. And does anybody give a shit about playing games in 4K versus playing games in like higher frames?
Apparently, the people that have them do, because they have downscaling, which is where they render it in 4K and then downscale to 1080p, so you can get a huge improvement on a 1080p TV. But the big thing about 4K on consoles is the checkerboarding thing, where it like
and HDR
Yeah.
is a big deal. I know.
yeah, and with checkerboarding, basically just like down renders areas of the screen your eyes not focused on. So people are really wanting that to come to PC because 4K isn't that practical on PC.
Yeah, because the other thing too is that it's not like it is 4K, but it's not like 4,000 pixels. It's like something. It's higher than 1080, but it's not 4K.
It's 4096 by 24 or something. It's something like that. It's like double the resolution essentially.
Yeah. It is more and better, but it's not like true 4K.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not true 4K on consoles because of the checkerboarding thing.
Yeah.
It would be 4K without the checkerboarding thing.
Huh. That's really cool.
But in terms of like people caring about 4K, like it's inevitable. Like that is the next.
Yeah,
like,
inevitable. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
I guess so. Like, but like
1080p was.
but it's like right now, it's like a lot of times when I have more experience with the PS4 Pro, is like when you turn on the game and it says like, do you want like resolution focus or performance? Then say FPS is like performance focus or some other bullshit.
Sure.
And it's like you should always pick performance. Like in my opinion, like.
Well, I think for us, we're more like we look at frames and we go, well, that was a frame drop or whatever, or like if it's not running smooth. But a lot of people just
when I used to play on console and like seeing frame drops and not knowing
you just like
what it was. I was like, oh, the game lagged.
There's also a lot of tricks they use on consoles to make 30 FPS on a console way more bearable than 30 FPS on a PC. Like in terms of like they apply a lot more motion blur and stuff, but they do it in such a way that where on PC you'd be like fucking motion blur.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. They don't have the graphical options in any given game that you can just turn on and off, anti-aliasing or all kinds of other shit that you like want or whatever.
If there was, you say like Uncharted 4 runs at 30 FPS on console, and then say if there was a PC port of Uncharted 4 on PC, that 30 FPS would kill me on PC. On console, I don't even fucking notice it because when they're designed for consoles, they make so many decisions specifically for console that help inhibit like the negative effects of 30 FPS.
Yeah.
So, how'd the LSAT go?
It went good, I think. I took the LSAT again. I took it last July.
Yeah.
I got a 154.
And you need like just a little bit more.
I'm trying to get like a 160. 164 would be like so awesome, but I'm not gonna.
What's
get
the
greedy.
highest you can get?
A 180, but literally nobody in the history of the LSAT has ever gotten a 180.
Damn.
So 154 is very
It's
good.
120 to 180, and a 150 is an average score.
Why does it start at 120?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's a weird ass. I don't know how they do like the calculations, but
Okay.
I just assume that it makes sense. So you can get between a 120 and a 180, and a 150 is an average score. And if you get like a 170 or 169 or better, and you have like a 4.0 and all the other shit, you can go to like Harvard or Stanford or whatever the fuck.
What
you
are,
want.
what are you trying to do?
Yeah, what?
Civil rights law.
Okay.
So what's like an example of a question? Is it like literally like Bill?
Yeah, so
got
the
in an
LSAT
argument-
is given. It has like 3 sections. There's 5 sections on the test, but there's 3 like types of sections.
Okay.
There's logic games, there's logic reasoning, and there's reading comprehension. So logic games, if you ever took like an AP math class, you'll be familiar. It's like
Sure.
7 runners ran a race, and Tom finished after Sally, and Sally finished third, and John finished before Jim, but not after someone else.
Yeah.
And then it asks you like, what's an acceptable like list of runners, like how they could have finished, and then it's like if John was second, then what is impossible, and it'll give you like 4 lists of like placements. That's the logic games part, and they're all like in increasing difficulty.
That's really funny because like the actual name for that, at least like within mathematical fields or like computer science or whatever. That's called discrete mathematics.
Yeah.
Instead of logic games
Logic
or whatever.
games,
but
yeah.
the actual name for it is discrete mathematics.
Yeah,
I live for shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of people really like. That's my worst part. That's all I studied for was just logic games.
Yeah.
Because the other part, the part that I do best on, I think, is logic reasoning, which is like shorter questions where it'll just give you like a sentence or two or three, and then it'll have the four answers under it. So it'll be a question like dang, there's so many. I'm like blanking.
How many questions were on that damn thing?
It's like 110 questions.
That's not that.
Yeah, it's not
there.
horrible. That's
It's
still a lot.
it's 5 sections of it's 5 sections. One of them is a what's it called? Like experimental sections where they put out like practice questions that they're testing out. So that one doesn't count, but you don't know what it is. You can kind of guess, but there's
that's
no way to
also
definitively
factored into
tell.
your score.
No, that part is
Oh,
not
okay.
counted
Gotcha.
at all. But it's hard to tell. The only way to know which one could have been is because like there's never more than one logic game section, or no, there's never more than 2 logic game sections. I'm fucking blanking now. There's never more than 2 logic game sections. So if you get 3, you know that one of them was the experimental one, but you don't know which one.
Are any of these questions like essay format, or are they all multiple
No, there's
choice?
one essay at the end, but they don't even grade the essay.
So it's all multiple
So like,
choice.
why do
It's
the
all
essay?
multiple choice. I don't know. No one knows. You can ask. No one knows why, because they don't read it. Apparently, that's what everyone tells you. Is they don't read it.
Well, when they're getting that many,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah, so like the logic reasoning will give you, there's all different kinds of questions, but there will be like, it'll give you like a principle. It'll be like, an action is morally just if it benefits you and doesn't harm anyone else. And then it'll give you, and then it'll say which one of the following like adheres to the principle. And it'll give you 4 situations where it's like, Tom, bought a gift for whatever because it was, whatever, and it goes on. It gives you all those, and you have to pick the right one. It's like the hardest part of the LSAT is that it's like a fucking 4.5 hour test.
Yeah.
And
For
you
110 questions.
for 100
Yeah, but it's
questions.
hard questions.
Yeah, so it's
Sure.
the sections are broken up. So it's 5 sections. Each one will have anywhere between like 21 to 26 or 7 questions per section. And the only break that you get is at halfway for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is just like bam, you're just going, taking all these fucking questions, and they're all like pretty fucking hard. Like they take time, and like
Yeah.
the way the test is structured, like the hardest part about it is to be quick about it, because like on a logic reasoning section, you're supposed to have like anywhere between like 60 to 85 seconds to answer per question.
Yeah.
And like on a logic game section, a whole game should take you 8 minutes. So if every time that you're over 8 minutes, it'll take sometimes like 5 minutes just to set up the question. Like you have to
Sure.
draw a
Yeah.
diagram, like to figure
Yeah.
out how to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Right? So like it'll take you like 5 minutes just to do the diagram, and if you take more than 3 minutes doing the questions after that, like then you're taking away time from the future ones. Like I didn't finish the last logic game, didn't even start it.
Wow.
So I just had to fucking guess on that one. But I mean, last time I took it, I didn't do the last 2 logic games, so I had to.
Well, there you go.
There, yeah.
Step above.
Yeah, direct
Yeah.
improvement.
And then the last one is reading comp, which is just like if you took the SAT or whatever, where it's
Sure.
like they give you a long passage and they ask you like 6 or 7 questions about like what was the main point, what did the author like, what would the author think about this, and then it's like on line 51 he says this, what does he mean by this, and it's like what does this word mean, like what's the definition, and like stuff like that.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
for me personally, I didn't do like super well in the SAT to begin with, and then I took a shit ton of Adderall and went in, no extra studying, and then I scored 200-300 points higher. And I was
I
like,
wish I'd taken
you
Adderall,
go.
but I was
Yeah.
like, I don't need
I
it.
made
I'm
like
smart
I,
enough.
I think I made like a 1560 the first time. I was like, this sucks.
Dang.
Now that I took high school seriously to begin with, then I took
Yeah.
Adderall and scored like an 1870, and
Damn,
I was like, that's more like it.
Yeah. I took like I took the SAT and I got like a 1600 or like
Yeah.
a 1580, something like that. And I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And then that was it. I was just like, I don't need to take it
Yeah.
anymore. I'm
I
good.
mean,
okay with this.
For the university I go to, I really didn't need to take it
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just like,
Yeah.
whatever.
So this is a video game podcast.
No, it's not. This is an LSAT
This is a
podcast.
vlog.
Wait a second.
Not a vlog.
Yeah,
a
I'm on the wrong podcast.
vlogcast.
VOD.
No, a blogcast.
Blog.
That's what
Podcast.
a blog.
So, Ian, how is your working life?
Well, it's going really well.
That is good to hear.
I am working at a established pizza place.
All right, shut the fuck up. So what we've been playing, we need to like put some music in here for like the different sections we go through.
We get like theme songs,
Yeah,
and,
I
like
know,
transition
it's like-
songs.
I already know know, like the news, you just go with this.
Oh yeah, like the fucking like the Morse code thing, like tapping out the news.
What we've been playing needs kind of just like I can't, some like operatic singing or something. Anyway, what we've been playing. Let's begin the Monster Hunter Hour.
All right, here it goes.
You guys,
it's a good game.
Go ahead.
All right, next.
I've been playing Monster Hunter, and it's pretty good, and that's
all right.
That's all I gotta say.
It's okay game.
Also, moving on to really, how is it?
It's everything that I dreamed it would be, and more,
wet
except
dreams
for that it's on console, and sometimes you
Yes.
see the frames, but you know, it's still awesome.
I've
Still
really
super
noticed
good.
the frames when you do like I don't want to spoil it, but there's like a Elder Dragon later on that has like a lot of fire, and he's in a fiery place, so like the frames just like chug on a normal PS4.
And did you have like different settings options?
No,
We're playing on OG Broke Boy PS4.
Okay.
yeah, Broke Boy PS4.
Does it still look good?
Yeah, it still looks good.
It looks great.
It looks really good, and it runs fine most of the time. The one thing that like I noticed most of all is that like it's not locked 30 FPS, so it like fluctuates. So sometimes you'll be in the middle of a hunt and you'll see some shit and you're like, damn, that looks good, because it's like running at like 42 FPS
Gotcha.
for like just like a little bit, and then you'll be like, oh, what's going on there? And it's like 25 FPS, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So it like fluctuates, but most of the time it's in that like 28 to 32 range, and it stays there pretty consistently.
But I don't know. I mean, overall, speaking about the game,
Yeah.
like coming from like, it's just a better Monster Hunter.
I
Like-
mean, I've seen them make like
It's
a
like
huge
it's the
impact.
tried and true Monster Hunter formula.
Yeah.
The game would have been, would maintain this game, as big as it is, would have been this big if they had released it on console at any time, like up to like 2006. Like as soon as like
Yeah.
the 360 PS3 era came around, if they had just like, because they're so Japanese focused and mobile gaming is so huge in Japan, they're like, oh, we're fine keeping the games on the DS.
Yeah.
But hell, nobody in fucking America or Europe.
The
really
first
fuck with
Monster
it.
came out on PS2.
Oh, it started out, PS2.
I
OG
played
PS2.
that one. That's like the only
Yeah,
one
that's
I
what a lot of
played.
people are like talking about. Oh, I haven't played that shit since like PS2, because like they stopped putting it on console after that, and it was on PSP and DS.
Except for Monster Hunter Tri was on
Tri was on
Wii,
Wii U,
yeah.
but that was a port. Tri was also on
a port
3DS
from
first.
DS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
it just makes no sense.
it doesn't make any sense, but like,
Do you think that playing this one is that much better than, like, say, if I got an emulator or whatever, played Monster Hunter? Yeah,
on an
Tri.
emulator?
Is it
Yes.
that much better?
It's
Yes.
better because it had. There's a lot of like Tri's old enough now. Is the Insect Glaive even in Tri?
no.
Yeah, it's like the Insect Glaive's such a huge and dope weapon, and there's like just like a bunch of new monsters, but it's like at the core, it's the same game, and you would
Yeah.
enjoy it
Okay.
a lot because Monster Hunter is awesome.
I mean,
Because I'm stuck waiting to August because I'm not going to run out and buy a PS4 for this
Yeah.
game. Like, I just can
Yeah, if you're
not
looking
just
for like a time sink, you can. That'd be worth your time.
the downside to this one compared to some of the other ones is because it's like the first Monster Hunter in forever to be on an actual console. They've had to like kind of do all their own assets. Like they'll have like
Yeah.
the same monsters, but it's like, so this one doesn't have as many monsters as a normal Monster Hunter would.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of sucks, but like just everything feels so good in that game.
Do you know if they're going to treat this as a platform moving forward, or if we're going to see like Monster Hunter World 2?
Well, they said that there's free DLC
Yeah.
coming out for at least this whole year.
I mean, there's definitely going to be a Monster Hunter World too. Just like the
You think
nature
so?
of like, I think so, because like the nature of Monster Hunter is like that's how they do it.
I
Like,
know,
there's gonna
but
be
they've
a
never done
Monster
anything
Hunter-
like this before.
Yeah, they've never done it on console, and they could just do it like Street Fighter, you know, where it's like if you bought the base game, you can pay like a discounted
Okay.
price and not have to buy another disc, you know.
and
And
get
it-
like G rank or
Yeah,
whatever.
get G rank or whatever they're gonna put.
And
in.
it's a loose thing, but just like when I hear Monster Hunter World, I hear Monster Hunter Platform, essentially.
yeah,
And that-
World is like yeah.
That's
But
the only
one-
reason why I
so
would
the
think
one
that.
big thing about World is like in the stories that this is like the new world. They're going like a new
Mm-hmm.
continent or whatever. And one of like the things that like makes it, I guess when we're talking about World, this is just like spitballing, I guess, but like in the previous Monster Hunter games, you had like your map, right, and these like these numbered sections of the map that you went to, and every time you went in between a section, there was a little loading screen. Partly because it was probably just because it was on a handheld console,
Yeah.
or fucking whatever.
3DS.
Yeah. And so now, like, it's just there's still like sections, you know, like 1 through 4 is like in the southern part and it's all green, and like the top part's up in the mountains or whatever. but like there's no loading screen, so it's like much more seamless and like integrated.
Is it-
and like for like the first time, you can go out on expeditions, which is like you don't take a mission at all. You just go out into the map and you like serendipitously run into monsters and multiple monsters, and the monsters interact with each other. So the world feels more alive than in previous ones, where like you would take a quest and it'd be like you're hunting for these two monsters. Those are the only two monsters you're gonna see, except for like special monsters that
Like the
they're-
Devil Joe
Yeah,
or
they're
whatever.
like their whole thing is that they invade surprisingly. Like
Gotcha. Are there load screens between like the hub or like
Yes.
town?
yes, there
And
are
then
load screens
between the different
Yeah.
sub-regions,
And that's
right?
another problem I have with the game is playing on the normal PS4. There are some fucking
load
load
screens
Yeah.
are long on normal PS4, and I'm pretty sure they're long on PS4 Pro to the point that people are like putting out guides like how to put an SSD in your PS4 Pro.
Jeez, I mean,
That's not
it,
unheard
It
of, though.
happens,
Yeah.
right? And like, there's kind of a way you can get around it with like when you kill a monster, usually it just sends you back to town.
Yeah.
But you can like go back to the same area as
To the
camp.
camp,
So if you're
you don't have to
farming
leave the you know,
so if you're
instance
farming
or
a
whatever you wanna call
monster,
it.
you can cut the loading screens like even more than just in half. Like it really speeds it up if you're farming the same monster. But there's definitely some loading screens and it kind of sucks. But like the overall like positives to that game with just like the quality of life things and then how cool everything looks and I don't know, it just feels fantastic to play. Like this, I feel like this is the definitive Monster Hunter.
Yeah, this is the best Monster Hunter.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll experience it in August.
Yeah, keep waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna buy it again on PC, and I'm gonna
sure.
put it on my fucking SSD and not wait at all for
Yeah.
fucking load screens.
Yeah, that would probably drive me insane. I would not.
Yeah, you just
probably
like
be
look
able-
at your phone or whatever when
Yeah.
you're waiting. But
Because
Cry.
Bloodborne
Yeah.
was another game that came out on PS4 and had like insane load time.
I feel like Bloodborne's a little different though, because Bloodborne was like, excuse me, you like died on a boss, and then
Yeah.
it was like, here's a loading screen.
Well,
But this isn't like that.
No, because like any Souls game, you end up reloading. If you play the way I do, which is like a fucking idiot and not having fun at all, you keep reloading the same area to farm enemies. Also, you had to spend a lot of time farming potions in that game because
Yeah,
like,
blood vials.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time farming blood vials, so that's where the loading screens hit me. But
Yeah.
also, like I play.
Wait, you
games
never
like
wiped on
fucking
a
idiot.
boss a couple times?
Oh no, I'm perfect. What are you
Okay.
talking about? Also, you could just like co-op your way through that entire game and never have any challenge if
but
that's
that's
what
the
you
point of the
Yeah,
game
why
is
would
that
you
it's
co-op
hard.
your way through the game?
I play enough Dark Souls, whatever.
What? Obviously,
I
now you
don't
have
need
to
like
co-op
Dark
your way
Souls
through
to
the
be.
game.
I don't need Dark Souls to be like hard anymore. Like I rather just like breeze through it. But
But you breezed through it because you got good at it because you played it when it was
sure,
hard.
yeah. I mean,
What's the
I got
point of
good at
playing
it,
the
but
game?
also I still suck. So like I can just even make it easier by just like co-oping.
I bet you play The Sims.
Yeah, I play a lot of Sims, so I don't really like know how to play games.
Oh my god, dude.
That's why I'm forever stuck at where I'm at in Rocket League. Is because I don't know how to play games. So.
Yeah, just-
Is that why?
Have you guys seen Subnautica?
Yeah, I've played Subnautica.
You played Subnautica.
I don't know shit about it. I heard it's like Minecraft underwater.
Yeah, so it's you build
Yeah.
yourself a house, and then there's creepers, which are these green little things that explode.
Yeah.
Tell me
Um,
more.
No, it's like
Have you played since it released, or did you play like early access, or?
I've played early access and I've played a little bit on release.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, why don't you talk about it first, and then I'll talk about my
Sure.
thoughts.
Came at the game fully released. It's like one of the few, I guess, survival-esque games to fully release. But it's also single player first and foremost, which a lot of people complain and they're like, it's a survival game, it must have multiplayer. And this is one of those cases, kind of rare cases where I'd be like, it benefits from just being single player.
Yeah.
Because basically what it is, survival-esque game, you crashed to a planet, like this kind of water planet, from a spaceship, and your escape pod crashes in the ocean, and this is kind of the whole intro segment. You climb out your escape pod, you see ocean everywhere, and then you jump in the water, and thus begins the survival game. You need drink, you need to eat. The core gameplay loop is really satisfying. You basically find wreckage or different items under the water, and you build. Well, first you build a scanner because you
Right.
build everything, but then you build a scanner, and then you scan objects underwater, which unlocks blueprints, and those blueprints will allow you to build like underwater vehicles or weapons or new base segments. The coolest part of the game for me was really just like building an underwater base is a lot of fun, and it takes into account things like water pressure. So the further down you build in the ocean, the more water pressure there'll be. So you have to like reinforce your base. It's also cool because if your base isn't strong enough, then holes will actually pop up in your base and leak water until your entire base is filled all the way to the top with water. And this is all happening like in somewhat real time, basically. It's a little gimmicky, but anyway, you run around, repair those holes. It's just cool to build an underwater base.
Oh, for sure. And are you like afraid of underwater shit?
No.
Okay, so like for me, like the idea, like open water fucking scares the shit out of me. And so
Sure.
that game is like basically a horror game almost with like some of the creatures you
Yeah.
encounter. And that's part of the reason why I love it, because it's like I'm legitimately afraid to go down
Yeah.
past a certain depth or explore like new
Ocean's
places.
scary, man.
Yeah,
Ocean's
it's
scary.
fucking and especially an alien one.
I've heard a lot of people be like they're afraid of this game and like it's a super dangerous world, but then every time I run into a hostile fish, I swear I just like swim away and they leave me alone. I've not died once to a hostile
Yeah, but
creature.
you haven't-
I've not even come close. I don't even know if I've received maybe 1 or 2 hits during my time playing from a
Have you
hostile
gone to
creature.
the ship yet? To the shipwreck?
No.
Like at all?
No, well, that's kind of spoiled. Okay, it blew up,
Uh-huh.
but I just have no desire to go there.
Okay.
Why would I go there?
There's a lot of good shit in there.
Okay.
Just a kind of little spoiler. There's a tiny aggressive creature there.
Okay.
I don't know. That game is really fun. Like I bought into it in early access before it had all this crap, like all the story, all the everything basically. It was just like you landed and then you survived, and that was kind of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
And maybe I'm playing wrong, but that's basically what I'm doing.
I mean,
So-
no, there's no wrong way to play a
Yeah.
survival-based game, but like
Sure.
for me, seeing how they added all this stuff, it's a really good early access game that actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels complete. Like when
Yeah.
I play it, it's very polished, and I also have another level of appreciation for it because it was all developed in Unity. And I've been doing a lot of work in Unity lately, and I realize how like finicky that thing can be. So like the fact Subnautica came from the Unity engine, I'm just like that's pretty
All
fucking.
right, guys, great
Yeah.
job.
I noticed some issues with like it loads things in really like late. Like if you're at the top of the water or the top of the ocean and you're looking down, it's just like this blurry mess.
Yeah.
Even though you can see the ocean floor, and then as you get closer, like things start popping in.
Yeah,
Which
I mean, it definitely has some performance problems, I feel.
Well, in terms of frame rate, I never really did below 60.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like weird stuff loading in. There's also things that you can do in that game that are totally impractical. Like, I originally tried to build somewhere that was more interesting to me, and then realized I did not have the tools to, like, go down deep enough. So
Yeah.
I just kept swimming for, like, 8 minutes to get back to the starting area just to,
Jeez.
like... If anyone picks this game up and starts playing it, I would strongly recommend you just build near the starting area. 'Cause
Yeah.
If you try to build anywhere else, you're just going to be swimming the entire game just to get like 5 titanium so you can like build a single wall. It's really dumb. That part was really dumb to
Yeah,
me.
how do you play this game? Like,
I don't.
there's so many things that you seem to have missed that is just like wild.
Is there?
I mean, there's like stuff that helps with movement for sure.
No, I built the first vehicle, but it took me a long time to like find it. Originally, okay, we're just whatever. This
Full spoilers.
full spoilers, but not really full spoilers because I haven't seen any plot, so it's hard to spoil that. There's an island in the game, and I swam over the island. I was like, I'm gonna build on this fucking island because an island base seems like a really cool idea. And that's where I realized I could get no materials to do anything because like the ocean floor below the island was like thousands of meters deep, and then that's when I had to start swimming back. Maybe I'll play. How am I supposed to be playing this? Nothing has happened except for the ship blowing up.
I mean, don't you get like distress signals in your ship that kind of point you to where you want to go, though, right?
I build a base, so I never go to the
Oh
ship.
my god.
I was like, as soon as I could build an underwater base, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking build an underwater
I
base.
can't talk to you about this game.
Whoa, this is weird. Okay,
It's just-
I guess we've had completely different experiences.
You've skipped. All right, whatever. You've skipped the fun part about this game.
I mean, I've played for like 12 or 13 hours. I'm like,
Played
one
it
sit-
wrong.
Apparently, but like maybe that's okay. Maybe that's kind of bad.
No, I'm
that,
just
like,
giving you shit. I mean, you can play it however you want to play it. But there, like, if you go to the ship, there's like a little comms relay that'll like beep and it'll be like, "Hey, we're over here, and you should come over here and see what's up." You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
You should go back to your you should go back to your escape pod.
Wow. I mean, like, I don't know why you would ever go back once the second you build like a fabricator, which is what allows you to craft and like build some lockers or storage for food and
Because
stuff.
you should have gotten your first like comms thing before you even got to the point where you could like make a whole base. Unless you literally landed and you're like, I gotta make a base.
I mean,
Like
I was
the
like,
first thing you did.
because I'm a dumbass fucking video game player that min maxes everything. I'm like, yeah, like I landed.
You're not
I should build a
min-maxing
base.
though. You're just min. You've
No,
missed the
well,
max part.
It's like I'm playing a survival game where you build bases. I should probably go build a base as soon as possible. Like that's the connections my brain made. Where apparently you just hung out in a little escape pod.
What do you mean?
Matt!
I swear to God.
I'm playing to win this very very single player serene experience. I'm playing to win it.
Oh my God. All right, what's the next topic we have on the docket? Get me out of this.
Excited for this one. It's Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
Dragon Ball
Actually,
Z.
Fighters, not Z.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone calls it Z. That's the best one.
fighters.
It's not the best one. Dragon Ball is better than Dragon Ball Z.
Are you guys
Hot
doing?
take.
If you had to rate Dragon Ball, where's Super number one?
Super, it's not over yet, so it's hard to say. But if we were gonna cut it off right now, where the Tournament of Power is gonna end, I would rate it as the worst of the three, but still awesome.
Huh?
Because I think that Dragon Ball Super is shitty until the Future Trunks arc, and then the Future Trunks arc is cool, and Tournament of Power is cool, and that's only 2 arcs. The Golden Frieza shit was alright, but it's too long, and the other arc, the Super Saiyan Blue and the God where they meet Beerus. I guess that's kind of cool because they introduce you to like Whis and Beerus, who are like cool, like comic relief, but also kind of serious characters. But it's just like it just takes too long to me. Like it's just so slow to like show you all these characters. Like it doesn't take that long. Like if you're watching Super, right? You watch Dragon Ball Z, right?
Right.
You know who Frieza is. You don't need like a fucking 50 episodes to be like, this is Frieza and he's the baddest dude in the universe. Be like, I know, I watched him kill Krillin. Like, I know what he does. He's a bad guy. But Frieza's still dope. Still my favorite character. Golden Frieza's super sick. He's gonna do some shenanigans. Only 2 more episodes left in Super before that shit goes away for extended hiatus.
If you're using the A-star algorithm to implement pathfinding, you want to make sure you use a hash map and a link list. I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah.
I can't
I was
follow
gonna say,
anything
I was
about
like,
Dragon.
damn,
You just said everything you just said went way over my head.
I thought Matt was just stroking out, and I was like,
Yeah, I
is
was like,
this where we learn what to do?
Yeah.
I think somebody has to.
I thought you
call-
were stroking out talking about Dragon Ball.
Oh no.
I
dude.
just don't.
At least we led
I
into
know
Dragon Ball.
nothing.
You just fucking
Yeah,
came out.
just
You know?
dropping that shit.
How is Dragon Ball Fighters?
So Fighters is super dope. It's awesome. It's good for beginners. A lot of people are looking at it. They're like, I don't really play Fighters. It's good for beginner fighter. It has the auto combos. I think we might have talked about that. That has the auto combos where
Yeah.
if you just mash, you'll do a combo and it looks cool. And that's what's like really
But
important.
can you win?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can win.
The beginning ranks, but the problem is like, you'll get to this point. Auto combos have a place in the game all the way to the top of the skill level, right?
Okay.
Not because you mash it out, but because there's like certain properties to an auto combo that makes it like worthwhile.
Okay.
But it's cool for beginners because you learn stuff like spacing, kind of just like
Yeah, you can learn the basics. There's a lot of problem that happens to a lot of new players who want to learn fighting games. Is they'll see like a tournament on Twitch and they'll see some fucking sick ass combo where they do 80% of your health, and you're like, I want to do that. And then you get into the game and then you sit in training mode all day and you learn to do that combo. And this never happens, but hypothetically, you learn to do the combo perfectly, and 100% of the time you can execute it in a game. But then you go into a game against a real player who did not study combos at all, and you're like, well, if you're in the corner and not blocking, I can do 80% of your health, and I have to have 7 bars. It's
Right.
like, shit, hell yeah, dude. That literally will never happen in a real game.
Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna have 7 bars with the dude in the combo, or dude in the corner just, like, waiting to take it. So, like, it's good to help you to be like, well, I already know how to do these combos because I just mashed the same button, like, 3 or 4 times. So I can focus on, like, when do I block? When do I go in? Like, when can I use a super? When do I call an assist? So you just focus on the fundamentals, because that's, like, so much more important. You can fucking destroy all the way up to, like, the highest ranks without knowing any real combos.
How are the ranks like divided? Do you have like divisions? Or
They're like
Yeah, there's
colors.
divisions.
Yeah.
It's
What-
like I don't know the terms for it, but
it's not just like bronze, silver.
no, it's
gold.
like Namekian, Super
Oh,
Saiyan.
yeah, it's
Okay.
based on the
Do you know roughly how many there are?
No.
There's
Okay.
not that many, I don't think. Well, I mean,
Well,
I guess I'm like thinking of like Tekken. There's like a shit ton.
Yeah,
but,
I think it's gonna be kind of like Street Fighter was, or I guess how any ranked system is, where the highest is like when Street Fighter V released, it was like Platinum was the highest, and now
Okay.
Platinum's kind of like average and Diamond's up there. It's just like you have to
yeah, the
get
game's still
points
new.
to like get up to that, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So it's not. Is it based on MMR, or do you know?
It's based on, I mean,
Which
yeah,
MMR is based on? I mean, MMR is solely like wins and losses. It's how like
Yeah,
CS:GO
yeah, it's based on
and Rocket
MMR.
League.
It's like Street Fighter or
Yeah.
Tekken, where like you win and you get like, I don't know if it shows you points when you
Yeah,
win.
it does. When you win, it'll show how much you gain and how much you lose.
Yeah,
and
so-
then you
yeah,
like,
so
gain
it's
more if
like-
you beat a harder opponent.
Yeah, it's like any other thing. Like the bigger difference in rank, you get more points, and if you lose to somebody who's like really close to you, you don't lose that many points.
yeah.
relatively.
If you lose to someone
Yeah,
way worse than you.
yeah,
Okay, so MMR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and it's good, except for online is shitty. Like a lot. I mean, it's
the
not
lobby
shitty, but it
system
has
sucks.
It's just like it's another stupid ass fucking like Japanese company fucking that shit up. Like,
Is the fighting
damn.
netcode okay,
Yes.
or is it like
Yeah.
okay?
it's okay. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's serviceable. It's good
you're
enough.
not LAN, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, most
You're
times
never going to be though.
Yeah,
So.
most times you're gonna hit people around 2 to 3 frame delays.
How significant is that?
You can get
As
used
someone
to
that
it.
Yeah.
doesn't play fighting games, how much of a delay is this?
Once it hits 4 frames, personally, I'll start dropping like some things.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I heard it's 3 to 4 frames is the lag on DBZ Online.
Yeah.
If you got really good at playing online in that state, would that then make you worse, like playing on LAN?
It doesn't transfer as well to playing on LAN.
Yeah, you
because
still
like
need to-
it's such a huge thing about fighting games in general is like the rhythm. You have to know like when you're hitting these combos, when this hit lands, then I can do this, then I can do that. So it's like this rhythm is really important. So it's like it's like you're playing it like an entirely different like BPM, like beats per minute. If you're playing it like
Sure.
online versus in a LAN, it's just
Yeah.
like it's a minor difference, but like it feels totally different. It's like I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I don't know if you play a game all the time, right? And then you go over to your friend's house and you like talk shit about how good you are, and then you have to play on their fucking controller on their TV, and you're not that
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you're talking such a big game." You're like, well, the TV's different, the settings, and
Yeah.
the controller. It's kind of like that. Like it's like these minor differences that you
Sure.
could get over if you put in like a couple hours.
That happens to me with Rocket League all the time, but
Yeah.
I'm still a god. So.
Yeah. Okay. So then no relation. Don't even bother with Dragon Ball. It's not worth your time.
I mean, if you can aerial combo a ball, dude, you can 80% somebody's HP for sure.
Well, I was just wondering if like you could become a top tier player only playing like in this online bubble.
You could not. Well,
Yeah,
you could,
yeah,
but
I mean-
it has to transfer over to your like you can't just I don't want to say you can't, but it hasn't happened that somebody is just like this crazy online fighter and then they show up to a tournament and they like win first place. Like
Yeah.
that shit is rare.
Okay.
But what does happen is like when a new game comes out, like you'll get like what happened when Street Fighter 4 came out, I think. There was like or 5, there's like a bunch of new players who came out because they were like, "Oh yeah, I played online, I showed up at the tournament." And then you start getting like top 16 finishes, which is like really fucking good. And then they transition from an online player to a LAN player. So online can get you to like very close to the top tier,
Okay.
but you will not win a tournament. You will not beat somebody who's
Yeah.
like the experience that you get from playing in a tournament is just like so.
It's
there's so much
different because
more
like,
into
there's
it.
pressure.
Yeah,
and
your
then
opponent's
there's-
right in front of you, and like
Maybe you didn't get enough sleep the night before, and you're in a
and
new
you get like people
place.
heckling
Sure.
you and shit.
Yeah.
Like
I understand. I just wondering, like, as when I play competitive games or when I latch onto a competitive game. I go all in and like play easily over 1,000 hours on whatever. Mainly that's been CS:GO and the Rocket League in the past. And I just know when if I got to that level, that would be like a huge annoyance to me. That wouldn't carry over into like
It does carry
Yeah,
over.
it
Okay.
carries over. I'd say
Okay.
it carries over like 90%.
I mean, it'd be like
95%.
playing Rocket League online versus playing Rocket League online.
that's fine. Like
But I mean, there's a delay of some sort. though.
no.
Are you saying that Rocket League has no delay when
Correct.
you play online?
Yeah, there's no difference. I played on LAN versus online. All the pros do. There's no difference. I don't know
I find
if
that
that's just the
somehow hard
way
to
the
believe.
physics are coded or how the net code is, but there is no delay for with LAN versus online.
Maybe
but
it's
it's also
just-
not a fighting game where you're putting in 1,000 inputs at once.
Yeah, I
You're
think
putting
there's
on
definitely a delay. It's just not noticeable in that style. of
Sure.
game.
It's if there is a delay, it's not noticeable enough. Whereas as long as I have a 144 hertz monitor wherever I'm going, then I'm good to go. And again, it's not something that like affects anyone just like playing it, starting to play. It's just like something that I would want to know if I was going to go all in on a game, like how that would play out.
Yeah, if you want to become like a tournament player and like have a chance at winning tournaments, you can absolutely buy the game and play online at home for like 1,000 hours. If you want to play 1,000 hours, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You can play like
That's not crazy.
A
That's
lot.
normal for
And
And then
competitive
you can
games.
go win your local. or
yeah,
whatever.
and then
Sure.
you can go and you can win a local.
Okay.
Off that skill, depending on where you live. If you live in New York, you're probably not gonna
No.
win, or like
If-
LA. Or
yeah, if you
San
live in, like, a
Francisco,
good-
yeah. If you live in
like
like
a
a big city,
fighting
probably
game
not.
city.
But if you win in like a smaller town, like just your college, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And like Sirius was saying, it's really good for new players, but it's also really good for veterans. I feel.
Yeah, it's got enough depth.
Do you know if they've announced anything for it in terms of like Evo and stuff?
It's
or-
at Evo.
I mean, yeah.
It has a shit ton of entrants, and it's gonna be on Sunday finals, which is a big deal. Evo is Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Mhm.
and Friday is pools for the big games like Street Fighter, Tekken, and then some smaller games like Start and Finish all on Saturday. Like I don't know if I want to say King of Fighters, but like maybe King of Fighters. Some like smaller audience games will like start and finish in one day, and bigger games will take 2 days. And so Sunday at Evo is like the prime time finals where like it's just like top 8 or top 16 is only on Sunday.
Yeah.
So Dragon Ball Fighters has a Sunday slot, which not every game gets. So
Mm-hmm.
its first year already, just off the hype alone, and also MVCI is not at Evo.
Yeah,
which is kind of a big
it's
deal.
crazy.
Evo, Marvel, like the series, has the longest running like consistency at Evo. Is
Okay.
the Marvel series. So this is the first time Marvel's not going to be there, and Dragon Ball's kind of taking that spot because a lot of people fucking hate on Infinite.
I mean, with good reason.
I've heard
If-
a lot of hate.
Like
Yeah.
I heard it was a good game, but it just looks bad, and then Capcom really didn't do that much to help it out.
Yeah, and like, well, like it's got like part of the appeal of Marvel, right, is the characters, right? You want to play this game where like, yo, I can be Venom, I can be Wolverine and Magneto and shit, and those guys, well, Venom's in the game, but like Magneto and Wolverine are not in, and like, I don't know, they just fucked up a lot of it. I guess that, I mean, I'm not super into Marvel, so it's not like a big deal to me. I don't have like a really good handle on
Yeah.
like why exactly people don't like it beyond the fact that it looks ugly.
Yes.
The character designs are ugly.
Didn't they say they were gonna like update the animations for
They
that?
said, and they
Yeah, but I
did,
mean, like-
they're still ugly in some parts, and they're still working on it.
Yeah, I hope it succeeds. Like I feel like any
no,
fighting
they are.
game.
It's dying. They're already.
I know
killing
that,
it.
but I mean, I hope it does some kind of crazy turnaround. I don't know. I mean, like
No, but I saw like Capcom is like ditching it.
they removed it from their Pro Tour. I saw that,
yeah.
but I didn't know that they were just stopping
So
development. on the
Marvel
game.
vs.
I don't know
Capcom
if they're
3 is
stopping
just
development on the game, but like if they come out with a like the next Marvel game is going to come out way sooner than they anticipated. I'll just say that. Like
Okay.
you know, they're speeding up production on the next whatever that's going to be, the next
Yeah.
Marvel shit. That's going to be that.
Marvel vs. Capcom Z.
so. Is Marvel vs. Capcom 3 just gonna end up being the standard going forward?
Three?
So-
No. It's
Or is it 2? That's
No, 3 is the newest one that was like the biggest one. But the thing is that so it's not like Smash Bros where it's like Melee is like the game and everyone plays Melee, and even though like 2 games came out after Melee, it's still more popular.
Yeah.
Like with these fighting games, like once the new one comes out, the old one is just fucking old news.
Yeah,
Like,
it's in the bin.
No one plays that shit. Like Street Fighter 4 like will not be on one of the main streams at Evo. It'll be at Evo, but it will not be on the official Evo Twitch channel. It'll be on someone's like smaller channel. It'll be a side game, you know, like older Tekken Tag 2 or whatever or Tekken 6 is not gonna be like a main thing. Every time the new fighting game comes out, like that's just it. Everyone just moves to the next one and just plays that shit.
Yeah, so Marvel's pretty dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, after what you guys said about fighters, I might give it a go. It's
You should.
it's $60, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
it's worth your
you
time.
buy it on Steam and you can play 2 hours of it and then return it. I mean, like
That's fair, but
if
I feel
you
like
enjoy, which I know you do, mechanical prowess,
I know.
and then also putting a team on your back because it's
Yeah.
just you. I mean, this is the game.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
And if there was like a premier fighting game that did things a little bit differently and really generated like a huge audience, I would be far more likely to hop on it, which it seems like this game's doing.
Yeah,
so
this
I'm
He's
gonna
doing
consider
and
it.
also the fundamentals of fighting games, like I was talking about spacing and like when you're
They
when
all
it's your
carry
turn,
over.
That goes to every single fighting game.
Yeah.
every single one is like knowing like when you can attack and when you have to block and when it's okay to jump and not okay to jump and that kind of stuff. Like that goes to every single fighting game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just I don't know. It feels so good to play. Like I know I've said that, but
It
like
feels really good. The combos are so much fun. To
yeah,
do.
and it looks great, and like the
The
characters are
sound
fun.
is awesome. If you like, I know we just talked about you're not a Dragon Ball fan, but if you are a Dragon Ball fan,
I made it like 30 episodes into Dragon Ball Kai. That's like about my. I watched the first main arc.
it is like as a fan of Dragon Ball, like all three of them, like it's got shitty writing. It's got shitty characters.
Yeah, the story
The
sucks.
story is dumb, but I still like it. Like Goku
I liked
just
what I
wins
saw.
all of his fights just because he's like, oh, I will just try harder, which is stupid, but also
just
it's
try
awesome.
hard.
That's literally he literally just got like in the most recent episode, huge fucking spoilers. Not really, but like if you're watching Super, it's like he's about to fight like the big bad guy,
Yeah.
and he literally just like wills himself to power up to like the strongest being ever seen in the
Over
Dragon Ball
9,000.
universe. Yeah, like that shit. That's like the core of Dragon Ball
Is
or
it
Dragon
over
Ball Z.
9,000?
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
is
that's
it's
the
over
core of a
9,000
lot
scene.
of those kind of shows.
No,
where-
but Dragon Ball was the first one to do it. That's like Dragon Ball's thing.
I
It's the
saw that
powering up
scene.
to become stronger.
okay, so like any shonen
started with
show has
that
I don't know.
started with Dragon Ball. It's like the powering up. Dragon Ball Z, not that wasn't in Dragon Ball at all. It was in Z only and Super. But yeah, the idea of just like powering up beyond your limit to become stronger and like kill the final bad guy is like it's like the Dragon Ball Z trope that like, started there.
Cool. Well, I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, and I bitched about it a lot, and I found a fix for The Division.
Oh
You got
shit!
the FOV sliders.
So yeah, the game without FOV sliders. So what I ended up doing, which I found some like YouTube video no one watches, basically created a custom resolution in the video control panel, which put black bars on the top and bottom of my screen, which actually works really well for that game because that game's kind of cinematic
It
anyway.
is.
Yeah, it is.
And that increased like the FOV in terms of like the width, and now I don't get sick when I play it. So I'm like level 23 or 24.
You're right up where we were.
God
So
damn.
you like it?
I like it. I still don't love it. I want to get to level 30.
End game,
yeah, I want to
I'm-
get to the
we're trying
end
to get
game
there, too.
because it is a little bit of a slog, and also matchmaking. I'm playing by myself, and no one's playing these
you
missions.
should play with us.
I mean, that would be ideal, but like since I have been playing alone, there's no one queuing for like the missions on the way to 30. So I just end up soloing these missions, and sometimes they're really face roll and easy, and other times I'm dying like 20 times trying to
Yeah.
get past a certain spot, and it's really frustrating. But it's fun. I can't play more than like 2 or 3 hours at a time, which is kind of a bummer for like a grinding game. Because I would love to play a grinding game for like 10 hours straight and get real, but it hasn't grabbed me in that way. But it's just kind of been my palate cleanser game for
Yeah.
like between Rocket League and
Yeah, it is like it is a grindy game, but it's also like I don't know, relaxing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not as intense, I'd say. It's not that intense.
That's kind of what's Monster Hunter has taken as a slot for
Yeah.
me. It's like Dragon Ball Fighters is really fun. I like the intensity, right? And Rocket League is probably that game. And then you have like a single player ish PVE wind down game when you don't feel like
Sure. See, I maybe because I'm doing all these missions alone, I don't feel like Division is a relaxing game. Like
it is hard.
I think that's part of the reason why I can't grind out for 10 hours is because I don't find it relaxing. Whereas like Path of Exile or Black Desert Online is super just like totally brain dead. Whereas Division, I still have to like think about things and I still die. So I don't find it like truly relaxing in like the grinding. I'm just gonna call it the grinding genre. But again, maybe when I'm in game and I'm like queuing for missions that people are actually queuing for, and I can just kind of like keep repeating those, I'll end up having more fun with it. But it's enjoyable. I mostly agree with what you said last time about the enemies not feeling too bullet spongy. I feel like they go down at a decent rate, even the yellow and purple ones.
Yeah, you get like once you start to see like a new like color enemy, they feel a little bullet spongy right there, and then you very quickly get an upgrade to your weapons, and they go back down to a fair level of sponginess.
I found the turret is like the best thing for like
what mod are you using for it?
Yeah, it really does change it up playing multiplayer single player because the gadgets are like super easily interchangeable.
Yeah.
So you can have like I just run like straight heals because I know like Scotty's got the turret and like Ian will throw down whatever.
I was on the struggle bus with my build, and eventually I found for solo play at least like the turret with I think it does the pulse or whatever, it like marks enemies. That, and then combined with the support station healing thing.
That is
I was
so
using the direct heal for a while, but then the support station made it like way more viable as a solo player.
This is kind of off topic, but it relates back to the Division. You guys remember when it first released and they showed like a gameplay trailer of, not released, but like
you're talking about the shitty
like
voice
the
comms.
Does anybody do that? Does anybody go,
Fuck no.
Is Jake online? All right, I'm sending a drone up into the sky. We'll see our enemies.
They did that for Wildlands too. I think at the last D3. I think it was
the Ubisoft thing.
Yeah, it's just like they put, and they did for Anthem as well, which is BioWare. But anyway,
I just want to know. Shoot us an email.
Yes, actually,
if there's a group out there.
There is a game where that is done and it serves a purpose, and that game is called Squad. Like, people play that game using voice comms in kind of that way, more military speak, I guess, where it's actually applicable because
it's a military.
Yeah,
sim,
it's a
bro?
mil sim. So,
Those guys.
but it reflects.
My mom's making dinner at 1300 hours.
Well,
I've got to be gone.
Like. It reflects in the gameplay though, so like you'll see an enemy at like you have a compass at the top of your screen that's degrees, so you're gonna say enemies at 130 degrees because that is actually the best way to convey that information. Or like when you're referencing where other squads are on a map with a grid, like it makes sense in that game because it's reflected in the gameplay where people do speak kind of like idiots or whatever, or just like really cheesy, but you have to.
But that's what like you have to. But that's also like. In my experience, like the people who are into milsims, like want that. Like they want to be like
they
want to. I'm the chief of Bravo company, and we're coming in on Alpha Niner section.
Dude,
what's your
whatever.
ETA? We got 4 tangos in the whatever the fuck.
I love that shit. It is so immersive.
I mean, yeah, I can see getting into it if you just want to RP with it, but not like
if you want
as
to
a main
but like
game.
I don't know.
I have about like 150 hours in Squad, which I think is the best milsim on the market after playing Arma and a bunch of other ones. Like Squad is
What
really
about Call
fucking
of Duty?
good.
Huh?
Yeah, nothing will ever beat Call of Duty. But I think Squad is like really fucking great, and like that voice com thing does happen, but it does it in a rewarding way where you don't feel like a dumbass. When you're
I think
doing
you
it.
would still feel like a dumbass.
don't.
You've just grown immune to
I
it.
thought I would even. That's actually what sold me on the game. The second I started playing is when I joined a squad, and everyone was like, "You have a mic in that game, or you get kicked out. You can't play the game without a mic. Like the squad will immediately boot you, and when you don't have a squad, you can't spawn anywhere. That's anywhere close to the action. So either you have a mic or you're done. So forced mic communication, and then like just it's really neat. It sold me on the game initially. I go by Squad. Anyway, that was my Squad minute. Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I haven't played it. I've watched
I
it.
haven't played it. It looks kind of.
It looks like a
interesting.
janky Skyrim.
Yeah, it looks like I might wait to pick it up on sale or something.
I played the first like maybe 3 or 4 hours. I haven't played any more of it because it didn't. The main stuff that I was experiencing was really cool, but like apparently the world doesn't open up until you're 7 hours in, so it's like a 7-hour tutorial basically. Where like I still have maybe only interacted with like 7% of the mechanics, so I don't really know what it is. The presentation, I don't know if this was supposed to be a AAA game or not. Like I don't know what type of money was behind this. It feels.
Doesn't it have a Kickstarter?
I guess.
right?
I don't know anything.
I've
This
heard-
game just popped up.
No.
one day.
I've heard about this game for a while.
Yeah, they showed
I
it
didn't
at
know-
E3, I think.
I didn't know it
originally.
was coming out this soon though.
I didn't know it was coming out this soon.
It just seemed like one of those games somewhere off in the
Mm.
horizon. But then again, I didn't follow it at all.
So in the first 7 hours of this game, there's hours of cutscenes, like actual hours of cutscenes.
That bothers the hell out of me.
This game-
And the cutscenes are good, but not good. Like, they feel like they're missing something. There's one guy who plays an old king, and I swear the voice coming out of him is from,
That's
like, a
what I've heard.
20-year-old male. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I've
But then
heard
other voice acting's really good.
Isn't the main character's eyes like super far apart?
Yeah,
Like,
they're really weird.
weirdly
He
far
looks like a
apart?
weird dude. But, like, I kind of like that because they made medieval people unattractive. Like, even the women, like, there's one scene where the main character's, like, checking out a woman, and he's, like, really attracted to her, but she's just, like, not really that attractive. Like, it's medieval times. Like, she's
Yeah,
not
just
looking that
dirty.
great.
Everyone's
Yeah, just, like,
gross.
dirty,
She only
and
has
her
a
face
couple
is a little, like,
diseases.
janky, and, like... I was just like, well, that's kind of a neat touch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels very down to earth, very realistic. I need to interact with more systems to really get a grasp on the game. So this might be something I talk about in more detail later on if I stick through the 7-hour cutscene tutorial.
Right.
Um,
But overall, 2 out of 10.
overall, right now, from what I would experience, because the main story, it really picks up after the first hour.
Yeah, don't rate it. I was just joking.
No, I'm gonna rate my 4-hour experience.
Okay.
I'll put it at like 6.5 out of
Okay.
10.
And where's Rocket League?
10 out of 10.
And where's
Masterpiece
CS:GO?
of the game.
11.
8.5 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
Good
Rocket League is the greatest game ever made.
That's just factually incorrect.
Let's not.
Let's. But yeah, that's probably something that I'll talk about in the future when I get more into it. It made more of a splash than I expected, but I think part of that's just like the time of the year. It's kind of a dry
It is a
spell
slow
beyond
time of the
Monster
year,
Hunter
yeah.
World.
Very true.
Fortnite.
It's a video game.
Yeah.
It's
Weird ass fucking video
We've
game.
talked about it before on the podcast, and then it was kind of right around when it flipped around. You know, when it transitioned from being a zombie defense
Yeah.
building
Co-op
game,
game.
yeah, to a battle royale, and it has transitioned so well. Like, it is.
I still hate it, but maybe I need to play more.
I mean,
but-
I enjoy it. I still like. I don't play either game really recently.
Yeah, I don't play
Um,
PUBG or
Fallout
Fortnite.
too.
So to me, I still like PUBG more, but I
Yeah.
haven't played it since it released.
I
so-
respect PUBG more, but the thing that I always go back to with Fortnite, the reason I don't think I'll ever get into it is I just hate the like spammy buildy thing. Like you're not building forts, you're just like
Yes.
spamming cover around you, and like
it seems like the meta when you're 1v1 is stair and then 3 walls and then another stair.
that's
and
just
then 3
so
walls.
weird. Like it was obvious. It's just this weird, like unintentional, janky game thing that they're just rolling with, and they're just like, they never designed it to be this way. Like,
I mean, I think that's just like when in any game when you get higher up in play.
Sure, it's just such a
don't take,
weird meta,
Yeah, they don't
though.
take whatever's fun. They take whatever works. I'm sure there's something with PUBG that's kind of like. I mean, I'm not that high up in it, but I'm sure there's some like stupid strategy that a lot of
I'm
people
sure there's a stupid strategy,
like
but it's
hovering
just
the
like
circle or whatever.
the idea of just like building stairs as cover around you is just such like a Gary's Mod like ass like fucking backward ass shit
I don't think
thing.
there's anything wrong with that. though.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. I just think it's stupid. I don't know.
Okay.
You should play it on console because how would that meta develop on console?
You just hold your right analog stick to the right and spam the build button until
mean,
you
it's,
just
you know-
have all this like garbage surrounding you.
I see it on PC and it looks insane, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wonder what the meta is like on console. How it's different.
yeah. Have you seen?
I see in that game what I envision, which I don't know how it would ever work, is people actually build like forts. That makes sense.
Didn't
like
they add like a
strategically.
40v40 game mode there for
Yeah,
a bit?
team battle thing.
Was that ever? Did anybody ever play that one?
No,
I wonder if they had forts in that one.
dude, 40v40. Put like a 20-minute or 10-minute build timer on it. Have both teams build these giant fortresses, and then have the fortresses go to war. What the fuck? It's like in CS:GO if people are playing and then just start spamming stairs around
I
them.
think
You should develop this game in Unity.
No, if they
There you
open
go.
up that game and like allow like I don't want to say a private service, but like custom game modes. You know, like there's a lot of potential for that kind of shit.
Same
Where,
for
like,
PUBG.
Yeah,
though.
for just like individual players to go in and be like, I'm gonna make a game mode where it's like castle defense or something like that, where you have to make your fort before, like there's like a timer before you don't like no weapons spawn for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
So you just have to build
Yeah.
shit like.
I want a full circle here. I want to see PUBG and Fortnite, which Fortnite kind of already has, start incorporating zombies so we can make a full circle all the way back to H1Z1 and realize H1Z1 had it right all along, and or even going back to DayZ and be like, zombies in Battle Royale is the actual solution to all this.
We've cut down
we
the
figured
players
it
to
out.
about 20 people per server, but now we've added zombies.
Zombies, yes. And then I want to see that take off so we can go full circle back to DayZ
Also,
and
the
H1Z1.
zombies never drop aggro, so good luck. You gotta run through a building to slow them down.
I do want to see there is some type of zombie mode for PUBG that involves
Yeah, it's
I-
like a streamer kind of mode. though,
Yeah,
where like
you have set up a custom
Yeah.
game, and the only way to fill a custom game is if you're a streamer,
Yeah.
and then like everyone plays zombies
or
and like
really popular in your local high school. You know?
yeah, really popular. If you just have 100 people playing, 100 people playing PUBG at once, but then that's still not what I want, because then you just play as a zombie and you hunt like the streamer or whatever. I want like a zombie survival mode where maybe you join in with 5 people and the world's like infested with zombies and you have to survive until the circle like closes in on itself, and at the end you just have like thousands of zombies you're fighting off. Something like that I think would be fun, but there's no zombie AI for that game anyway.
Dude, how crazy that you have a zombie game idea, man.
How crazy.
That's a novel idea. We should do zombies. We've never done zombies.
What
before.
like open world zombie games are there? Like other than
Dead Daylight? What's that game?
Dead
by Daylight.
Is that? I thought that was Dying Light. Yeah.
Dying Light, yeah.
Dying Light? Yeah, but that's not.
That's a co-op game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so.
It's not like
Yeah,
primarily
it's open
multiplayer, and it's also more of a campaign-esque game.
But I think that's how you'd have to do it, because like the problem that came up with like with DayZ or like any of those fucking zombie games is that it's like the zombies just become trivial, and then it's like, why
Yep.
are they in the game
It's just
in the
annoying.
first place? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
janky.
It would just have to be really well balanced, and
Yeah.
also they would have to figure out how to get this jank out, which is just a problem with like multiplayer AI anyway. But I don't know. I would like to see them do something like that. Other than that, I think I'm kind of done with battle royale games. Like,
Yeah, I've played too much. I really haven't played that. Like 100 hours of PUBG seems like a lot, but it's not that much.
it's a.
I mean, it's a good amount.
Yeah, it's
enough to
enough
have
to
I got,
have
I
an
got my
opinion
money's
and-
worth, but it's not like
Yeah.
some people are playing
Yeah.
thousands.
I mean, I read an article that PUBG was finally, which is normal, starting to drop players a little bit, which is inevitable after like the huge rush. And I think PUBG and Fortnite are probably not going to be the games we're talking about in a year or two.
Well, I've heard Fortnite is really popular and also hasn't released in China, which is a huge surge
Sure.
for PUBG's like player base.
Yeah,
Was,
China was a huge surge for Overwatch.
So I don't know. I mean, I think Fortnite has some more life in it.
Definitely,
and
because
I-
Fortnite's free and it's on console. Like, it's so huge. If you just go to any like college dorm or like high school and just talk to people, hey, what games are you playing? It's fucking Fortnite. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get into
Yeah.
because it's free and it's on console and it runs fine.
I still think we're gonna see like an iteration of this stuff that's like beyond everyone's
Oh yeah, it's still not done growing.
Yeah.
The genre is still not done.
I think it's going to end up like having the depth of PUBG, but also be as accessible as Fortnite. Like finding that middle balance is going to be what like is going to be like the league of like battle royales or
The
whatever.
league.
I don't think we're gonna see that though. Like for at least this year, not even.
Maybe not this year.
I wonder what
but-
the next one even is going to be because nobody even expected Fortnite. Like,
Yeah,
it was
I have
going.
no idea.
You know that game that you saw 7 years ago? That
Yeah.
zombie defense
We
thing.
gotta look out for E3 this year.
It'll
I
be
guess.
whatever's in between the two because they're both on extreme.
under how many battle royale games are going to be at E3?
Oh, dude, 500.
Oh god.
Low balling.
Do you guys have any thoughts on Sea of Thieves?
It's a video game you play on a ship. There's an ocean around.
Yeah, I mean, I like
Right.
pirates, and I want to like it because pirates are cool. But
Yeah.
there's not a lot to it.
It
right
seems
now,
like one of
just
those
to be
games
honest.
where you play with a group of friends and you guys have to create the entertainment, and then
Yeah.
eventually it just gets boring regardless.
See, I want like coming from like sandbox MMOs or whatever. Like I don't want a full sandbox MMO, but I wanted something that has some significant type of like end game or like goals to strive for after you've been playing for like 200 hours or whatever. And it doesn't. They're not doing a good job of highlighting that if it exists. Like right now, it just seems like you hop on a ship, you
How close is it to release?
close March.
Oh wow.
I think it's March. I'll double check.
So there's not that much more content they're gonna add to it.
Well,
They're
but
gonna
we
keep
don't know
adding
what
it, I
slice of the game.
Yeah, but I
they-
mean, it's been in development for so fucking long. They should have
Yeah.
had more than just get on a ship and then find a treasure chest.
I really hope this is just a case of like March 20th, 2018. So
Damn.
almost basically a month from today. Also, Crackdown's coming out next month. Anyway,
Crackdown?
I think so.
I don't believe that. They're gonna delay it again.
Wait, what?
Crackdown 3 that was announced 15 years ago.
You talking about?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, which game is Crackdown? Crackdown, a game I fucking remember.
Spring.
Holy shit! It's that
Yeah.
game that you only
Yeah,
bought
Crackdown
because it
3.
gave you beta access to Halo 3
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it came out. The only reason anyone fucking
Yep.
bought that
But
game.
then people really liked it.
People really liked it, and
Yeah.
it had a black protagonist, which was
Yeah.
cool at the time. It was like not a lot of games, even still today, like not a lot of games let you play as a black dude. Like you have to play as a
Yeah.
black dude, you know.
Crackdown 3 is an
What's
unspecified.
a recent game that you have to
spring.
play as a black dude? I'm just trying to even
Like there's
think of
character creators where you can be,
Yeah,
black,
but I'm
there's
trying
no
to,
like this is who you are. It's a black guy,
one.
like
Shit.
I swear there has to be.
like fucking Def Jam Fight for New York. I don't fucking know, dude. Like they don't make games
Nice.
with black people in it.
That there has to be one where you play as a black character. That's a problem.
I mean, you could like. It's kind of contentious. You could argue the new Assassin's Creed. They're not really black, but they're Egyptian. They're African.
Mhm.
Sure, that's something.
Yeah.
Was there never a black protagonist in Assassin's Creed before? I thought there wasn't like one of the.
I mean, the
optional-
first
yeah.
guy was Altair was Middle Eastern, could be Persian. I don't know. he's Middle Eastern, so there's that. But then it's like Ezio's Italian, and the other dude's British.
The Doom
Native
Marine might be black.
American.
You don't know.
Yeah, Doom guy could be black.
Master Chief is definitely white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a white dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard
There's
out
not
here.
that many.
Hard out here.
Well, yeah. I mean, gamers are known for being like some of the worst people in the
Yeah.
world, and you're trying to appeal to the worst people in the world. So there's a definitive route to being
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yeah, it was just a cool thing.
Yeah. Well, in terms of Sea of Thieves, like I'm just very skeptical. When I first saw it, I was like, I
Yeah,
want
I
this.
just want to see more from it. You
Yeah.
know, it's like I don't know. I
I
want there
want
to
it
be a
to be
good
good.
pirate game, but I don't think this is gonna be it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I
Maybe
don't
All I have
that's-
to say about that.
Pirate Battle Royale is the next genre. I'm telling you guys right now. There you go.
Hell yeah, dude! You get to fire your musket once every 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then you just run around each other reloading stuff.
Oh
That's
God,
like-
there was a this is
that is
way
how the fights go in fucking
Is it?
Sea of Thieves. Yeah, you, like people shoot.
yeah.
And then the other guy shoots, and then you like dance around each other while you're like fucking cleaning out your musket.
Why
Not your
even
musket,
dance
your
around?
blunderbuss.
If they're both reloading, you don't have to move at all.
This is like a deep cut, but for the I think original Half-Life, there was a mod called like Revolution or something that was supposed to be like the Revolutionary War, and it had the long you shot and then you cleared the gun. Anyway, this led to like
Oh.
line battle modes
Oh,
where
where you stand,
yeah,
like
so
organized.
so it'd be
lines.
like 32 player servers or whatever with like 16 people on each side, and then the round would go if everyone fired at each other, and then you would after that round like then you could rush each other, and it had like the
The
stat.
bayonets,
It was a
yeah.
great mod. I spent probably as much time playing that stupid mod as like some AAA games, just because the line battle format was actually enjoyable.
All right.
Anything else on your guys' mind before we wrap it up here?
I'm good to go.
Fucking hungry, dude.
Yeah.
I just can't stop thinking about pizza. I'm so
What
hungry.
pizza are you gonna get?
I was thinking about getting some crazy shit, but I think I'm just gonna go classic, just pepperoni.
That's a good one.
The pepperonis, yeah, we got Ninja Turtles up there. Oh, Ninja Turtles are in Injustice.
Injustice
and they look
2.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
They look so dope.
They look crazy.
I'm not gonna play Injustice.
I don't know.
But I still love. The
I
Ninja
enjoyed that
Turtles.
game when I bought it. I bought it. I bought it as a, like me to just wait until Tekken. But I mean, it was a good game. The
It's
story's
a
really
fucking-
good.
and a lot of people. It's like really popular, like among regular people. If you like talk to people about fighting games, like a lot of them
Yeah.
know Mortal Kombat.
Because that
Injustice.
DC
Yeah, 'cause
comic book here.
Yeah, it's more. It's like it's just Western. All the other fighting games that we talk about are Japanese, so it's just a Western fighting game. A lot of Americans know. But yeah, Ninja Turtles look super sick.
Have you ever tried making pizza at home, Ian? Being like the
I'm not a pizza expert just because I work at a pizza
Actually,
place.
that kind of
Master
makes
pizza chef.
you a
Yeah.
professional pizza guy.
I have made a pizza at home.
Did you like make your own dough and stuff, or did you like do a pre-made crust?
I got dough from Publix and then made my own crust.
Just you got yeast?
No, like
No,
they
they
had
sell
like,
like a
they,
bag of
yeah.
dough.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
like specifically for pizza.
I've been
It's
making
really good.
pizza with like again the yeast and the flour, and then kind of like making your own dough and like
Okay.
kneading it and all that. It's been like 6 iterations now, but I'm finally nailing it. It's like
There you go.
the dough is like pretty good. We cover it in like garlic.
Let me know when you like feel confident because I'm down for some homemade pizza.
You feel confident.
I think
he doesn't want
I don't want to try like
Right.
the
Well,
prototype.
yes.
I want the real.
Well, this is like the 6th iteration, so we're on version
Okay.
like 1.4 probably.
yeah.
Some of the versions kind of ran into each other because there wasn't much progress.
Right.
But like the only issue, the problem I cannot solve is the dough ends up a little bit doughy, and I think that's why pizza ovens exist. That's the only thing.
But yeah,
Like it's still good, and like the crust on the outside gets really crispy, but then the dough under the toppings is still firm, but it's still a little bit doughy
Yeah.
in the middle. And I've tried like variations between like 350 and 400 in different times. So it's like
Aren't you supposed to like move it farther away from the heat source?
I don't know. I maybe that's
'Cause I know
something
you're,
could
like-
try. But I like everything on top to get crispy, like pepperoni, get a little burnt and all
a little
that.
crunch,
But even
yeah.
taking it that far, that dough in the middle still
dough
just like,
doesn't do it.
yeah.
Dang.
But it's still really good.
yeah, it must be that's what a pizza oven is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only conclusion.
You're supposed to have like a wooden block on like one of your oven
Yeah.
shelves or
Yeah.
whatever, and you set it down there and you put the pizza on top of that.
Yeah. But we went to Aldi and got like one of their frozen pizzas, and ours is way better. And I was like, I feel good about that. Well, our first one wasn't. Our first one, we accidentally got like gluten-free dough,
Oh,
and like
God.
we were actually eating raw dough even after it came out of the oven. It was just like, it was
Why didn't
bad.
you just not? When you realize you're eating raw dough, you're just
because
like,
we were hungry
maybe we
and we
should.
put like an.
Are you telling me
we
you've
put, like-
never had like a bag of stale chips? And you're like, these are awful, and then you just eat all of them.
No.
Like they're bad, but you just
Also,
eat
it's some
them.
cost at that point. We put over an hour into
Yeah.
making a pizza. Like we're gonna fucking eat it. We're hungry.
all right.
All right.
As I don't concern myself with you peasants. If there's stale chips, I don't eat the stale chips, and if there's raw dough, I don't eat raw dough.
Aren't you a
King
picky
of
yeah.
Only the
King of his
finest
fine
chips.
American food.
Only hot fries for me, boys.
Nacho fries. Anyway, all right, guys. This has been the Casually Toxic Podcast, episode 11. Hopefully, we'll be back a little sooner this time.
There's a hiatus. We had to rewrite everything.
Yeah. This semester is hell for me, so we'll see what happens. But we're gonna keep going, and we'll see you guys next time.